Lori with Rockenco Crafts. I want to thank you for joining me. Today's video is going to be a little bit off the beaten path. After my last two videos where I tried the marshmallow technique and then I tried the ocean waves, just frustrating and discouraging. So I thought that I would do something a little bit different today. And this is actually an idea that was posted. It was part of a Facebook feed. And I ran across this some time ago and I thought, I really want to try that. I love the idea. Now, it's not my idea. It was actually posted by a Jason Crowe, Crowe. So I do want to give him, credit for his idea. Anytime that I can upcycle, recycle, reinvent, reuse, I love to do that. And this idea actually uses like the plastic milk jugs. And I've seen different things that you can do with these jugs, like make planters and so forth. But this is the first time I've run across this idea. Maybe it's not like brand new idea, but I really, really liked it. I've never seen it before, so I wanted to try it because actually my first thought was, oh, I could do that and use these in resin. But you can use it in more than just resin. You could use it for other crafting projects. So what I've done is I have printed and cut out some free butterfly clip art. And what the post had on it, the butterfly was actually put like on the corner of the milk carton so that once you cut it out, the wings are up like it's flying. So, but what I want to do first is, now this wasn't on the post, but I still want to try it. I want to try a couple of different things. One is, yes, I do want to like tape this on and see if I can't do an outline. I want to do that. And I want to make sure how much room do I have, because I haven't taken the label off. I didn't want the hassle of messing with the sticky. So my butterfly, that big one, can go there, and I have room over here. Now, what I have here, I do have a smaller butterfly, and this is actually just some of it's called graphite paper. And I've just cut out a little square so that I can put this butterfly here. See if I can't tape it on, because I want to get more of the details, not all of them, but I do want to actually put some details on this. So let me see if I can get this taped on so that it'll kind of stay in place for me. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to use a whole bunch of tape, but I do want it to be pretty sturdy. And I'm going to use a red ink pen. I want to use a pen that's a different color than the ink on here so that I can see what I have or have not outlined. And I have left the lid on in hopes that that'll help the jug from collapsing too much. I've removed the ring from the milk jug because I've been doing that for years, because I do craft with these. I do a different craft with these, so I do save the milk jug rings. But let's go ahead and see if I can do a quick outline here. I kind of want to press down hard because I want to make sure that hopefully that outline will go all the way through to the milk jug. Now, if you can freehand a butterfly, I think that's great, but I cannot. And I don't want all the details, but I do want some of them. Like these rings in here. I like the way those look. And I think if colored properly, they would look really pretty in a resin project. Or other craft ideas. If you don't work with resin, if you work with a different type of crafting, This is a good way to upcycle plastic jugs and make something very usable. I'm trying to go relatively quickly so as not to bore y'all. Okay, I think I have. That's why I use red, to see where I have or have not drawn. All right, let's see if we can get these little back wings. My jug is starting to kind of collapse over here. And again, I don't want necessarily all the details, but I do want some. And we'll see if this comes out on the milk carton. It may not even show up on the milk carton. I'm hoping that it does. Or milk jug, rather. And I'm going to do the larger one, just so I'm not going to use the graphite paper on it. All right, let me see if I can get the body. And again, I don't need all the details, and I'm not going to do the little antennae. All right, there's that one. Let's see if it showed up. I don't know if the graphite, well, it did, y'all, but it's very, very light, very hard to see. So the graphite paper did not work. Darn. Let's go ahead and try the larger one. Let's see if we can't. I want to try to make sure that I have that body kind of centered on the fold. And I don't know how I'm going to draw around the tape, but I need to do my best. So let me see if I can just put a little bit of tape there somewhere to where I can just connect the dots, so to speak, after I'm done drawing. But I don't want my butterfly to fall off the carton either. I may want to move that down. I see a little Humpty Doo here. Let me move that down. I want to get it centered. I want it to look like it's flying away, or like the wings are folded, like it's getting ready, like it's landed on a flower or something. And I'm just gonna have to put another tape over here. And hopefully I can freehand what I need to. Okay. Now I have two different Sharpies. I have a thin or a thick. I think I'm going to use the thick. And what I'm hoping to do is after I cut this out, is to be able to put it, or even before I cut it out, I want to cut the bottom of the jug off and see if I can't put this underneath and go back in and draw some of the details. We'll see. This is all an experiment for me too. I just love the idea and I really want to try it. Let me hold that wing into place. Well, for that matter, that's how I can maybe fix the little spots where I have the tape. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Oh, that head I did kind of cattywampus. But I think, I mean, to me, this is very budget friendly, which is nice because crafting supplies, regardless of what kind of crafts you're into, can get quite expensive. And in today's economy, if you can find a way to do it at no cost, or at least, reuse something that you already have, like like the milk jugs. Let me see if I can get around his little body, and then I think I have it. But before I cut the bottom out, I'm going to leave him on there. My little butterfly did not work out. I cannot see. So let's see if we can do, here I may want to try to the thin one. I'm going to see if I can draw the cat outline, because I have cats, because I love cats. And I mean, I used to have dogs. I love dogs too. I just love critters. Let me see if I can get this to work on here, because this is real small. I need for it to be at least dark enough that I can see to cut it out. You probably can't see what I'm doing because this thing is so tiny. Let me see if I can't draw that a little bit darker. And then I may have to go back in with a bigger Sharpie after I pull this little stencil off. We'll see. All right, let's see what we have here. See if I need to go in with a bigger Sharpie before. It's kind of a small little cat, isn't it? I'm going to go ahead and go in with a big Sharpie, though. Maybe just color it in. Even though I have some acrylic paint over here, paint pens. So yeah, the graphite paper just did not work. I'm going to go ahead and color that tail in a little bit thick so that I can. It's a small cat. It may be a challenge to cut. All right, let me go ahead and take this butterfly off. I'm getting Sharpie all over me. Let me see if I can get this butterfly off without tearing it, because I'm going to need it. I'm just going to fold those pieces of tape down, and this is kind of what I have so far. But what I'm hoping to do is, I do have a little box cutter here. Let me see if I can get the bottom of this in a pair of scissors. I just want to get it started and see if I can't use some scissors to cut around it, but I need to get a hole started without cutting myself, of course. Trying to be very careful. And I did wash this out real well using some water with a little bit of bleach. I definitely don't want any sneaky, like, old milk smells. And I wanted to make sure it was completely disinfected. Let's see if I can get it from over here without cutting my butterfly. And then I'm going to see if I can't tape this bigger butterfly on the inside. There's that. What I want to do is, I actually want to see if I can tape the butterfly on the inside so that I can draw some details. Let's see how this works. It may be easier said than done. I may need to open up the milk carton or the milk jug a little more. We'll see. Let me just see if I can get a couple of pieces of tape on the tops of the wings there. Is that the way I want to tape it? No, I put this tape on there upside down. Let me try that again, because I want to tape it up like this. Grab another piece of tape. I want to tape it up so that I can see the details. Let's see if I can get this done. If not, I may have to open the whole carton. Let me see if I can get it into place. Oh, the tape is not behaving. Let's see here. About right there, it looks like. If I can get it to behave. If I can get the tape to stick now. Let's see if we got it, y'all. I got one side. Kind of. Let me see if I can get the other. Probably get my hand in your way. Sorry. I just want to get this up there so I can actually see the design. And I really don't want to, if at all possible, open the jug up until after I've drawn the design on. All right. There we go. Let me see if I can finish drawing the outside parts that were taped over. And then I just want to draw some of this design. I don't want all of it, just some. Because I can look at the picture and paint. I think, anyway. Let's go ahead and put that body in there. And I want you to be able to see what I'm doing, but there's one wing. All right, let's work on this other one. There are probably easier ways of doing this, but I don't know what they are right now. This was the idea I came up with, so let's go ahead and go with it. But just, I mean, right now I'm doing butterflies, but I'm going to have to think about other things that I can do. Because, yeah, it's like a, basically, other than a time, I have to buy milk anyway. It's just like a free crafting supply. And the fact that it's a reinvention of something that would normally go into the recycle bin. Let me fix that. I mean, to me, that's exciting to be able to reuse something, to reinvent it. And this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this using a milk carton. It doesn't mean that it hasn't been out there. It's just the first time I've seen it. And I fell in love with the idea. All right, y'all, I'm almost done here. And any wonky lines, I'm hoping to be able to fix when I paint. Okay, so let me pull this out. And although it's not perfect, there's the butterfly and there's the cat. Let me go ahead and just use some scissors to kind of cut around that. Oops. It looks like I still have some tape here. Get that tape off. There we go. Stick it on the butterfly. This is a nice big size butterfly too. Move that milk carton out of the way and kind of show you how, when I'm done cutting it out, look, y'all, it's going to look like it's flying. But I will I'm going to use scissors and cut these out. I'll do that off camera so you don't have to watch all the boring stuff. And then I will show you how I'm planning on adding some color to this. So I will see you shortly. Right, I have them cut out, and yeah, the cat was definitely a challenge to cut out. Now to paint these, I want to use some acrylic paint pens. And I have all different sizes here because I like to paint rocks. I have some of the fine tip. I have some that are metallic. And then this package I really like because it has both the fine tip and the thicker tipped paint pens in them. I haven't quite decided what color I want to paint the butterfly. I do know I want to paint the cat black. And I'm just going to shake that tin up. And as you can see, I have a piece of scrap paper down here because I really don't want to get this on my mat. But if I do get it on my mat, I could use alcohol wipes to clean it up. And I'm just going to try to hold that cat in place because I want this to be a black cat. I'm going to go ahead and it may require 2 coats, let it dry and come back in and give that a paint. And this is why I have the tool. Let me see if I can move the tool and be ever so careful down here. No. Let me put the tool on the tail. If I need to repaint that spot, I can do that. All right, I'm going to let that dry, and I may need to put a second coat on it. And I haven't really decided what colors I want to use on the butterfly. I've just got a few out, and what I like to do is just take the colors that I'm thinking about. I've never used this one, so let me go ahead and get the flow going. I like to take the different colors out. Let's see if it's going to work. This one has never been used, so I have to get the paint down to the tip of it. Anyhow, I like to take the colors and do a little patch of the colors that I'm thinking about using. This one hasn't been used either. And then I put the colors side beside each other just to see what I think will look good together. I probably should have checked these first. I didn't realize I hadn't used some of them. But this is a purple. I like purple and green together. And I kind of want this butterfly to be bright. But I also like this light blue. So I want to see what it looks like with the green and with the purple. And I may decide on totally different colors. I just don't know yet. So let me get the paint flowing on this one. I've used some of these pens, but apparently not as many as I thought because painting the rocks is usually easier to use the fine tip pens. But there are occasions where I need to use a bigger tip, and these do have a bigger tip. So I'm going to put some blue by the green, and I'm going to put some blue by the purple and see what I think. Oh goodness, I don't know. I like both. I like the blue and the purple. I like the purple and the green. I like the blue and the green. I think I'll probably do it like blue and green. And I will paint this off camera so that you don't have to watch me paint every little thing. And then I will be back to show you the end results. So I will see you shortly. I am back. And this is what I have done. I went ahead and made 2 of the little cats because I started thinking after the one, I thought, oh, I know of a good resin craft idea I want to use that in. So I have an idea for a resin project that will be upcoming soon that I want to use these 2 little cats in. Now on the butterfly, I actually ended up deciding to do 2. One, I went ahead and painted using the good night, metallic, just blue, red, some silver, and then just the black regular. But I added a little bit more detail to this one. And then, of course, the one that I talked about doing in the blue and the green. Now, what I did different on the two butterflies is on this butterfly, I only painted one side. This one, I actually decided to paint both sides because depending on the craft, I may want it bright and cheerful on both sides. And I may go back in and do the same with this one. I haven't decided yet. Something else that I did was on the two small cats and on this butterfly, I actually put some Mod Podge on there for a sealant. I didn't know if I should, but I went ahead and did that, and it seems to work just fine, unless I actually started it to do that on this one, and it smeared because it wasn't dry enough. So if you let it dry real well, then you can brush that on as a sealant. I may on this one, because I still haven't, I may go ahead and just use the spray Mod Podge and see how that works, just to see how it works. Something else I neglected to mention is that if you don't have paint pens, you can use just your regular acrylic paint. My hand is not that steady, so I like to use the paint pens. But this is how they turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, please consider hitting the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And I just want to say that I'm really excited about this. I'm excited about being able to turn a milk jug that would go into the recycle bin into something pretty like this. And I plan on experimenting with that more, not just with cats and butterflies, but I love the idea. And I'm so glad that that was posted on Facebook. And again, I want to give the person credit that posted it, and that was Jason Crow. And it was just some pictures that he took of milk jugs and what he was doing with them. He was actually using the gallons. But I think you can do it with more than just milk jugs. But I love the idea. I love to be able to upcycle. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.